Good morning everyone, I'm Amanda from the Holistic Equestrian. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today I'm working with two horses, individual sessions, so the same caregiver and they do live together. So the first is Jazz, who is a mare who her caregiver just reached out and just expressed just a few niggles and concerns, and that she would like me to see if I can help. One of the issues being around floating, and also through discussions what also came out was the relationship that her other horse, Ace, who I'll be doing a session with afterwards, so who Ace, they're just struggling a little bit with bonding and just getting used to one another. So my understanding is that Jazz has been part of the family for about 9 months now. So sometimes people think 9 months, well, that's a long time, but I'm smiling because I'm just thinking horse time. You can't put a time frame on horse time. Things just take as long as they take, and when we go from this ego side of things and let our humanness take over, and we want things done now and yesterday, and but their caregiver is amazing. She's wonderful. She fully understands that it's only been 9 months, that it's still very early days for Jazz to settle in, for the relationship with the caregiver, and also for establishing those relationships within the herd and with Ace. So that is, it's really good when I'm working with people like that really do understand that horse time is horse time and it takes as long as it takes. So I'm going to be doing a couple of things. I will be doing a full Reiki session, and I never plan how I'm going to do a session. It's just however it flows, and what comes up first for me to do. So I'm either, with the Reiki, I'll either use Gracie as my surrogate, and I will go down her chakras as if I was with the horses, or I might use myself as a as a surrogate, and just go down my own chakras, again depending on how I'm sort of guided to how I will do that. And then I'm also going to be doing some crystal healing with them, and using my pendulum. And again, there's a couple of ways I can do that. So I've got my chart. I really do like to use this and to tune in with my chart and to just see which chakra is out of balance for the horses. And then I will just do some work with them. Again, I can use the photo, I can use Gracie. I don't tend to use myself when it comes to the crystal work. It's just how I work. It's just never something that's kind of cropped up where I've used myself as the surrogate for the crystal healing. So that's kind of what I'm going to do today. I may or may not record the whole session. Some of the stuff, it's like watching paint dry for people that are watching, because it doesn't really look like anything is happening in terms of what you can see. But obviously the distant energy healing is being sent to the horses, and they will be feeling it and they will be receiving it, and I will be tuning in with them. So at any point I may or may not stop the video rolling, because it's an hour session, possibly longer again depending on what comes up, and just to kind of sit there watching me, you know, with my hand on Gracie might just be a little bit too boring. So again, we'll see how we go. I'll talk you through some of the stuff that I'm doing, and we'll go from there. The other thing that I'm going to do that I forgot to mention is I've got my crystal wand. This is rainbow fluorite, and I'm also going to do some just some aura cleansing as well. And again, I'll probably just sort of, just a feeling that I got then, I'm going to use the photo of Jazz to do that, and I can just work around that with that crystal wand. So how I always start my sessions is I cleanse my space. So I've got my trusty little lighter. I'm hoping that it's going to work. It's running a bit low. Let's just see if it will. If not, I can go and a little bit of incense on. So I've also used some smoky quartz points just to make a little crystal grid around Jazz. Again, when I come to do Ace, I may or may not have a crystal grid. If I do, I will definitely be changing the crystals that I'm using here for Jazz. Any crystals that I use afterwards, I always put them on selenite so that they cleanse until I use them again, or until I pop them away. But then I also cleanse them when I get them out before I do a session like this. So the next thing that I'm going to do is just burn a little bit of sage just to cleanse the area, just to kind of get rid of any negativity that's just maybe a little bit stagnant in this part of the house, anything that I've picked up. You know, I've been around some horses this morning, I've been around people, just to clear anything that might have hung on a little bit that I don't want to hang on. And I'll also send that clearing out to Jazz as well, that clearing, that cleansing. And just again, just to cleanse my tools. And I can use some of the smoke from the incense as well. This is a selenite lamp. If you don't scratch the table, you probably should have picked her up there. The next thing that I'm going to do is light my candle, just to set my intentions. Lighting the candle just, I feel, just provides a little bit of oomph to my intentions, if you like. I've chosen the pink, the rose quartz. It's a beautiful self-love crystal. And that was the one that I was drawn to for Jazz, and just yeah, just sending her some love and acceptance. So just set my intention. My intention today is all about connecting with Jazz and offering her the healing. It's always up to the individual, whether they are human or animal, whether they accept the healing. What I always kind of put out there is, if there's, for any reason, if the soul is not able to accept the healing at this time, that the energy goes to where it needs to be. I never assume that, especially with the animals that I'm connecting into, that they want the healing. I've not had any horse or human say no, but there's always the possibility. But I think it's always nicer to offer rather than to assume anyway. So I think what I'm going to do is use my pendulum first and just see if there's any particular areas that Jazz is struggling with at the minute in terms of her chakras. So this is where it gets a bit like watching paint dry. But really what I'm doing here is just connecting in with her. I'm grounding myself. It's always really important to do grounding exercises before doing this kind of work. When you're playing around with energy, it's not something that you want to take on yourself, and it's not something that you want to hold on to. And also just connecting in with Jazz, just sending her some images. Horses communicate a lot with imagery, so just sending her some images of what I'm hoping to do today to offer her, so that she has an understanding and that there's nothing to worry about. And just connecting in as well with my guides. And when I do this, I always honour the traditional custodians of this land that we're on. Give thanks and gratitude to the elders of the past, the present and the emerging. It's always important that you acknowledge the land that you're on and the traditional owners of the land, or the traditional caregivers or custodians. Language is very powerful in the names that we give to people or what we refer to. It's intent behind everything. Okay. So when working with a pendulum, it's always really important that it is programmed to you, to work for you, so that you know what the yeses are and what the nos are. My pendulums are programmed to me, but I still often will tune in and just make that connection and just ask a very simple question. So let me just move these out of the way so then there's no confusion here. Hopefully you can see the pendulum. I've done my recording at the table today because I always tend to be sat outside or somewhere and I can't steady my arm enough. So there's still going to obviously be some movement. You can't keep yourself 100% still, but hopefully I'll be a lot more steady than I normally am. So it's just to begin with, just a very simple question. Is my name Amanda? Is my name Amanda? And I'm just going to ask just a couple of times just for a very, very clear response, just whilst the pendulum's waking up, so to speak. So is my name Amanda? Okay, so just going nicely, gently backwards and forwards. Is my name Luke? Is my name Luke? And there we go. So there we've got a circle going on. So that is my no. So my pendulum is programmed, tuned in and ready to rock and roll. Go to Jazz. Nice gentle just movement back and forward. Just asking Jazz there if it's okay. If I tune into her. Pendulum's got some marks on it. Okay. Alright then, Jazz. What chakra do you need to work on the most? Which chakra do you need to work on the most? So we've got solar plexus. So in the human, the solar plexus can be found just above the belly button. It's the place where we store our emotions. It's where we get the, thank you, butterfly feelings, you know, if we feel unsafe, if we feel unhappy, a lot of it goes on in the solar plexus. So yeah, we've got some stuff going on there. Okay, let me just tune in again. Is there another chakra that you need to work on the most, Jazz? Okay, so that's the first time that's happened. It's just gone straight back to solar plexus. So that is her main one, and she's not asking for or telling me that there's another big one. So that's the main one. Okay. Alrighty. So what I might do now is actually just end the recording so that I can fully tune in, do the Reiki, do the aura cleansing with the wand, just because, like I say, it just looks like paint drying, and you know, sitting here with my hand on my heart or on Gracie is not necessarily something that's exciting to watch, but obviously anything that I do pick up, I will let her caregiver know, and yeah, I hope that has, yeah, actually just dropped something. I hope that has given you a little bit of insight into how I work and how I can help your horses with an array of different things. It doesn't really matter what's going on for them. The energy healing works the same sort of way, whether it's physical, emotional, spiritual healing that's wanted, and it's just also about supporting the horse or the human body to be able to put themselves into a to allow the body to begin healing process itself. I'm not the one, so to speak, that's doing the healing. I'm the conduit for the energy, and sending out the energy, etc. But you know, everybody is responsible for their own healing and what they do with that healing energy. I'm just I just support the process. So yeah, any questions, you know where I am, you know where to find me, ask away. I'm always happy to help if I can do. And yeah, I hope you all have a happy day. Take care. Bye bye.